Hi, lovely people. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you have been having some days of peace and relaxation and not been rushing around, indulging too much so that you feel bad. I hope you're feeling good. So I thought I would just come on today. I've been also just stepping back for a while, and I was just pulling some cards and a lot of messages coming through about fear, about how we are controlled by fear, how we allow fear to control us. And I've done a lot of research on, it's amazing how much it is used in marketing and by many powers that be. It's a very, very common marketing tool. And so what was interesting was there was a movie that I love, and I get a lot of analogies from stories like that, from movies. They can give us a lot of information to consider of how they present things. And it was in the movie called The President with Michael Douglas. And he makes a speech at the end, probably the best president speech I've ever heard. And he has a sentence where he says, basically, the way of other parties is to make you afraid of something, point a finger at who's to blame, and then make you afraid and hate whoever it is they're pointing the finger at. And I've looked through history, and there are so many times when this has been used. Sadly, it can work all too well. But what I found as I was pulling the cards was so much of this energy of it's our responsibility to move away from that energy, to look the other way. And the first was one with the sun, this beautiful card, be the light. And I found myself, I was talking to some people and we were reflecting and said, how often are you the light? And how often are you perpetuating the story of the fear, whatever that is in life? The difference is one energy is very low, one energy is very dense, one energy is very heavy and keeps us really stuck in the mud and in the mire. The other raises us up to allow us to see things with different eyes, a different perspective, take the stance of the eagle in flying above. It's not about burying a head, it's not about ignoring things, but it's looking at it without that constant narrative of fear talk, as I feel. Because the card that came next to that was surrender to wonder and awe. And the thing is that when we are really dragged down, when we are so caught up in fear, when we are believing the narrative of pointing the finger, of here's something to literally freeze your life about, rather than looking at something with balanced eyes, balanced mind, balanced heart, and realizing that all along there is still always so much to be filled with wonder and awe about. Even in those darkest times. I was watching something about the war and watching how people still came together for parties, for joyfulness, joy of actually just being alive rather than fearing not being alive. They focused on the moment that they could when it was just saying, today I can rejoice in life. And then the beautiful things all around. And it says, open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder of all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. And I've spoken a lot about these times of also making sure you can take time to go inward, take time to contemplate, take time to review your place in the world and what your values are and where you plan to go next. Are you being part of the fear? Are you being the light? So maybe review your interactions with people over the last year. As we move into the next year, have a reflection back, and how often did you shine your light? How often did you lift people? And how often did you drag them down? This isn't judgment, this is just us all reflecting on ourselves. Did you leave people uplifted, or did you leave them with the heads hung low and feeling worse? How can you either lift that light higher just from where you are? How can you bring more wonder and awe into your life? Is that just watching the rain fall? I was looking at the raindrops hanging off this berry bush in the winter, and it was cold and wet, and I took some close-ups of these raindrops and this whole world within the raindrop, and I was filled with wonder. Just the tiniest thing lifted my heart. Doesn't always have to be big things, but it's being open to seeing the beauty all around. Because I then got surrender to silence, and that is in that going inward, taking that in quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. It doesn't always need to be busy and rushing everywhere. And I just feel it's really, really important as we go into the next year to look ahead, to reflect back, and to look at where you are now. What energy do you want to carry forward? Do you want to carry forward that level of heaviness and fear, or do you want to go forward with wonder and awe? Do you want to take forward the energy of gratitude for everything that you have got in your life, for the lessons that every experience teaches us? Going looking for the lightness, being the light, lifting people, seeing someone who is sad on their knees and a kind word, an arm around the shoulder, giving them support, listening, a smile at someone in the street, singing as you walk along, lifting your heart. So many simple things, if you allow them to lift you. The last card I pulled was patience, and I feel this is what I was drawn to is the girl holding the red balloon, and I saw this as the whole analogy of the red pill. And the red pill analogy is that you take the red pill and the fog is lifted, the fog clears, and you see the truth of your heart, you see the truth of a situation. And here I see this as all this sort of nasty fog has been clouding the view, and slowly it clears to see the stars and the beauty beyond. And maybe there has been an element of allowing whatever is around you to cloud the truth of it, to be totally encased in this fog of negative feeling and not seeing any of the beauty that is around. And here I feel it is a case of being patient with yourself, being patient with others, because we also have to take each step in our own time, one step at a time, opening our eyes a little at a time. And I hope as you move forward into the new year that you will find reason to have wonder and awe all around you. So with that, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye.